Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, we could really use your help. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, recently named the Too Opinionated podcast one of its top 100 podcasts. This is a monumental feat for this program. You know, we're a father and son team out of a small town in West Virginia, have been doing this for about 5 years. There's 15 million podcasts out there. About 40,000 of those get to the point that they're listed on IMDb. Out of those 40,000 out of the 15 million, we were ranked number 82. Something that we're just immensely proud of. We're so thankful for our listeners, our watchers, our fans. Thank you so, so much. If you would like to help us out, and we're asking for it, please. It's easy. It's really easy. It's free. If you go to IMDb, that's imdb.com, look up Too Opinionated Podcast, and just take a look at the page. That's all you have to do. I mean, you're welcome to look at the cast, look at the episodes so you can kind of see who's been on the program. Do whatever you want. But even just bringing up the page, imdb.com, Too Opinionated Podcast, bring up the page, look at it. That helps us so much. So please, if you can do anything, we would really appreciate that. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Love to have your subscription there. It's also free. And you can also check out our website, meistercon.com, where you'll find almost 700 episodes, audio and video, available on there. There's also a terrific blog from Brett, and it'll let you know anything that we have going on in studio, if we're covering a convention, if we're going on location, anything that we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so, so much. We appreciate you so much. I can't express enough how appreciative we are of all of you. We never expected to do as well as we have, and that's all because of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy that interview. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited today. I've got singer-songwriter Gina Zo with me. So welcome, Gina.
Hello, how are you?
We've been talking for like 20 minutes off camera. Yeah,
We
I feel like we're close now. We figured it all out.
We've discussed all the pleasantries,
That's
the
right.
comedians, the driving
All the
habits, all the
important things.
things.
They missed all of it. Where was everybody?
They did. They missed it all, but in reality, I'm sure it will somehow come back up again.
More than likely. More than likely. So, Gina, welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this. You're a
Yes.
terrific singer. I've been listening to your music all week, and yeah, your voice is
Oh
amazing.
my God. Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you think that. Thank you.
You know, the nice thing with your voice, there's so many good singers out there right now.
Hmm.
And there's a lot more than that we don't even know that are just out there. But I really
Totally.
thought your voice was unique, and that's hard to
Thank
find.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I do have a unique voice, and it's interesting because I find so many, not so many singers, but a lot of singers to not feel listenable, even though they're really great. It's
Mhm.
not like one that I want to constantly hear. And I now I hate to say that I think my own voice is listenable, but I do. But I do. I think it's unique enough that you feel like you're almost like let I'm singing directly to you in some regard.
Yeah, that's actually a really good description because I do think that like it's unique in a very good way because
Yeah.
it grabs your attention and kind of holds
Hmm.
where if it was unique in say an annoying way.
Annoying but good. I mean, that's out there. That's out
But
there in
no,
this
but
day.
yours is it's so good, and it kind of pulls you in, and it feels
Yeah.
even when listening just at the house, it feels
Yeah.
like you're singing to me.
Oh my God. It's yeah. I totally agree with you. I think that has to do a lot with our producers too and the style they record, just based on how important it is for that connection that you're saying. I want you to feel like you're with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of
Thank
like
you.
that. So what got you into music? Is that something
Yeah.
that you've wanted to do your entire life? Did it happen when you were doing the voice stuff, or
Mhm.
did something else get you involved in? Because it's a difficult industry to get into.
Well, let me tell you, you are right about that. I think it was a mix. I grew up being very much the kid that was not afraid of anything. I mean afraid of like heights and things, but I mean my social battery never drained. I always wanted to be front and center.
Yeah.
My dad would like he had like the VHS recorder and he would film me and I'd always want to be like singing or like singing like a 5-year-old does, and then I would run over. You could see me running over in the film, and I'm asking him if I could watch it, if I could see how
Yep.
the video was. And so
You're
I
already
have like a
making videos
yes,
at a young age and directing.
yeah, yes. That was not good enough, sir. I mean, and I have this one video. I have like why my mother put grandma nightgown styles on me. I just don't know, but I have this grandma nightgown on. I'll have to send this to you. And I think I have a microphone of some kind, or it might be just my hand. And I'm like, whoa. I'm gonna send it to you because that's actually exactly how I did it.
Awesome.
Um, and so, point to your point, the voice tied in, I think, more with the me wanting to be a professional, but I was always singing.
Yeah, that's pretty great. And I figured that most singers, actors, entertainers start really young, which is different than the rest of us, that kind of find our career later, later in life.
Yeah, totally. I think of course, yeah, like the professional career, I didn't get on the voice until I was like 17, 18, but absolutely. I was all since I was I guess 10, I was in theater. So I was always doing it in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you play any instruments?
I do. I play guitar, which is this guy
I
here.
assumed
This
the
is
guitar since it was hanging there
yeah,
in the back.
yeah. This is the one that my dad got me when I first started playing. Um, and I play piano. I played piano since I was 8.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, I'm not going to call myself a pro at any of those things. I think I'm a pro singer, but the instruments are not necessarily perfect. But I would say those two are my instruments. I just picked up drums, but I'm not perfect yet.
I think guitar and piano for songwriting purposes are the
Totally.
best two instruments, at least to be able to move around on a
Absolutely.
little bit.
Absolutely. It helps with your songwriting. And the whole reason I picked up drums was really to be able to understand the process of being a drummer,
Yeah.
um, because I found myself saying like "Boodaga" to my drummer, and he's like, "What am I in?" And so I was like, I need to actually pick up the drums so I can tell you realistically what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, because you're
Yeah,
writing the music. You want to be able to
totally,
talk the language a little bit.
totally. And he was pretty impressed at my drum skills after just a couple months. So
That's pretty
I
good.
don't know.
That's pretty good. Well, so let's talk about the voice a little bit.
Yeah,
You were amazing on there, and how did that happen? Because
yeah.
that's a difficult show even to get close to being on air.
Yeah, no, totally. It's really interesting. I mean, you saying that, I'm sure then you have some understanding of the process. Um, I auditioned at Open Call in New York City, and I didn't know what the process was. I just thought, because I think American Idol is a little simpler. I think American Idol is, hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I'm getting little beepies. Um, I that was happening. I think that American Idol is like a little faster to get there. I don't know for certain.
Yeah.
However, with The Voice, you do this open call, and then you have you do then a callback. Then
Yeah.
you wait for a phone call. Then you're sent potentially to LA. Then you have another audition, and then you go to the judges. So they narrow it down from like 400,000 people to 100 people before the judges, and then
Amazing.
40 people. It's crazy. It's
That's what I
crazy.
was saying. There's so many good singers out there, and most of them we never get to hear.
No, and I remember going to my audition. I wanted to sing my very first audition. I wanted to sing an Ingrid Michaelson song. And my mom was said to me, "Why are you singing like that?" Because she hears me sing classically, as I was trained classically, and I also did theater. And she's like, "Why aren't you singing like an Adele song or something? That seems more your style." And I said, "No, no, no. I think this is it. Like, I think this is it." And it ended up being it. I was the only person in my room to get through. Um,
That's
and
awesome.
I think I was the only one in my season of The Voice to come from an open call, not a pitched audition, basically where they asked them to come audition.
Yeah, yeah. How does that work
Crazy.
with the room? Do they do that? Everybody on this side.
Kind
Go ahead
of,
and get in.
kind of. Yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on in, and then so they'll come in, and then you're sent the next day to a recording studio to do your open call. And that was my first time in a recording studio. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, what is happening right now? And you get put into now what I know as like a room where you record, like your massive rooms in a recording studio, and you are performing in front of some producers and the casting director.
So all
And
of
it's
this takes
horrifying.
place before you even get in front of the judges?
Oh my God, way before.
Yeah.
This is a couple of months at least
Wow.
before. Yeah, it's a long, grueling, emotional process
Yeah.
of wondering, like, what it it's crazy because you go to LA for a month before you audition in front of the judges. They train you for a month,
Yeah.
and the whole time they could tell you, hey, we're not like feeling it anymore. It's terrifying. It's terrifying to be 17, 18.
I'm gonna say for a young person,
Scary.
that's so stressful.
Yeah, I turned 18 during my process. That's kind of why I always tell people 17, 18, depending.
Yeah.
um yeah, I didn't even go to college right away. So I waited to go to college because I was getting far. So I was like, oh, I might as well just like pause my
Well, yeah.
acceptance.
Yeah, I think anybody would.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it was interesting because it was really weird being 18 and not having a professional career, because like I said, most of the people on the show were asked to audition, or all of
Right.
them on my season. And so it's you feel kind of what's the word, like not left out, but a little left out. You feel
Sure.
kind of like the only person who doesn't know if they even want to sing. I was like, is this going to be my career? Like, this is everyone here's career. So it's kind of everyone wants to be someone, and I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I was just
Well,
kind
you
of
were really young.
confused. And there were people on my season that were 15.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm like, you and they're all doing well. It was honestly, it's really cool to see them succeed like in their own life, which is really exciting. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Well, so
Yeah.
what was it like once you get in front of the judges?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember my coach was Trelawney. That's my vocal coach on the
Yeah.
show. She does both the American Idol and The Voice. And basically what they tell you is the moment that there's like red doors, the moment the red doors open, you are required to go through the doors. Like, now, of course, I'm sure if you had a panic attack and like literally passed out, they're not going to make you go through the doors. But when the red doors open, you have to go. We're filming. And I'm like, okay. So they're counting down. And I'm like, I'm yelling for Trelawney. I'm like, Trelawney, I fucking need you. Where are you? Like, please. And when you I had never felt it before. I guess it was a panic attack at the time. I felt like I turned the color green. Like, yes, imagine that feeling. And I remember I got on stage and I was like, I was truly horrified. But it's over very quickly. Your song's only about 30 seconds, so
Right.
um, you're done within a short period of time. Um,
But you had some chairs turned around.
yes, and Blake Shelton turned around for me. So how it also works, very confusing. There's 3 days of auditions. I was the last day. So one of the judges was full. He I think it was Pharrell, had all his spots. Christina Aguilera, Blake, and Adam, I think each only had two spots left.
Yeah. You're getting
I
down to
actually
it.
didn't. I actually didn't know. So they take away your phone, so you don't know. And Blake turned for me, and I was thrilled. I was totally thrilled. I remember walking off stage, literally fell to my knees, fell to my knees. I sobbed, fell to my knees. I was
I'm
like, this is
sure.
insane. It was insane. It was not scripted. I was like, ah!
Well, yeah, because you go through all this stress and then the moment's there and you don't know if it, if anybody's going to turn around. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably a relief, but just the emotions that would hit you.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah. And though, yeah, they hit me. But I actually, you don't go back to film again for 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's all just like, what is happening right now?
Well, so I'm guessing from that experience, you figured out,
Mhm.
yes, I would like to
Yes.
be a singer.
Yeah.
So at least
I
you
mean,
got that
essentially.
out of it.
Essentially. No, no, absolutely. I think that was the biggest thing when people asked me about that was, they're like, would you do it again? Would you do all these different things? And I'm like, I don't think I need now what they're offering.
Right.
I got what I actually think I was seeking, which was confidence in what
Yeah.
I maybe or maybe didn't want to do. And I learned, like you just said, I learned this is my dream and I'm good enough to achieve the dream, I think was the big thing.
Well, yeah, I think that's the piece you got to take from it because no matter where you finish, just getting to that
Hmm.
point, you're
Oh
good
yeah.
enough to have a career in music.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm curious what I would have done if I didn't get through, if I didn't get a chair turn. But no, I didn't even care. I got a chair turn. I didn't care what happened after that.
Well,
I
that's
was
it.
just like,
Well, and
I don't
like you
care.
said, if you had went in the first group, maybe you get more chairs turning.
Absolutely. I actually think I probably would have. Um, but I also the other funny part about the show is, I didn't have a story, and I'm not someone who's gonna fake
Right.
some emotion. Like some people mention, um, well, actually, when I think back about it, my dad, he had cancer 2 years ago and he's okay now, but
That's great.
I was so young. Like, who has a story at 17?
Nobody.
No
You
one.
might think that you do, but you don't.
And so what now actually this is the first time I've even thought of this. So many people were older than me. So I guess that's why they had a story
Well, yeah.
because they had something to say. They kept trying to pull one out of me and I was like, no,
I just want to
I remember
see.
wait, they asked me what would happen, like what will you feel or what's going to happen if you don't get a chair turn. I remember saying, I'll just go home. I'll go to school. They were so mad. I was like, I they were like, "Can you say like how upset you'll be?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure. I'm good at direction. Okay, yes, I'm gonna be so upset."
I'm sure they're
uh,
used to dealing with young people on that show, though.
totally, because we're the naive sense of, like I said, I'll take a direction. You tell me what you want me to say. I'm able to say it, and I can
Yeah.
say it honestly. However, I'm I'm gonna tell you the truth. At least in the beginning, I don't have any trauma yet.
Well, that's right. Thank goodness.
Yeah, or at least no trauma that I want to share that I think is
Yeah,
important to my ability.
that's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah. Is there do you put your music in a certain genre or does it cross a
mm,
bunch of it?
and you mean like my music now?
Yeah. Yeah. Your music.
Yeah, rock pop, I would say, but I think you've listened to my music, and I think it's kind of genre crossing, honestly.
That's what I was going to say because to me it touches on several of them.
So many, and I think that's my influences that really make it that way. I think that I find a lot of music boring that is so centered. Like I think of an artist I love, like Maggie Rogers, as a reference.
Mhm.
I can't even think what she really is. Like I think they kind of call her Americana. They kind of call her rock
I think
sometimes.
Americana is kind of the catch-all when you're
It
not sure
really
what to put
is.
somebody in.
It really is. And I always wonder, what is Americana? I heard it for the first time on The Voice, and people were like, "Oh, I'm an Americana artist." I'm like, at first I thought it was like Latin music. That's because it sounds
Right.
very,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's kind of like folk country pop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of it. Yeah. Maybe a little rock too.
So maybe I'm an Americana artist, and I just haven't admitted it to myself.
So you left The Voice and you released a solo album,
Yes,
right? Which
yes.
is really good. We've been listening to
Thank you,
that, my wife and I. So Virginia, love that one.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank
excellent
you,
song. Chalkboard and Walk Away. Those were the three we loved the most.
thank
The whole
you, thank
album's
you,
good, but yeah, those three
thank
we
you.
really
Yeah,
like.
that album is so interesting because I had just decided before we put that out. I actually didn't even want to put that out. That was like a label decision that I wasn't, because I didn't think it was ready. But
Right.
regardless of that, um, I
It
quit. I
sounded
actually,
ready to me.
well, I do appreciate that a lot. Um, and I quit music right after we put that out. I quit for
Yeah.
like 2 years. So
Why was
um,
that?
I think I noticed through the label and through the label I was with and who I was working with, that this was like a man's world, and
Yeah.
no one I was working with, at least, was believed in me, and everyone that I was working with thought the only way I would be successful is if I just listened to them. And
That kind of
I was also,
stifles you creatively, though.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like I said, I'm a good listener. I know how to do what you want me to do. But if I think you're going the complete wrong direction, I'm not going to follow along.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had to finish school, and I was just kind of like, I'm just going to go finish school, and I don't think I want to sing again because this is lame. This is so awful. This is awful. I don't want to be told what to do, and I don't want to be told what to do in a way that doesn't feel like you're telling me what to do because you think we could do well together and like we could
Right.
succeed. It felt so abusive, honestly, and
I think a
I
lot
felt
of
a
young
yeah,
entertainers, not just in the music industry, but in
yeah,
with actors too,
yeah,
feel that way because they don't have the control that maybe you'd have as a more experienced entertainer.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think people assume that just because you're, I mean, I was 20 when I left the label, but just because you're only 20 means that you don't understand business at all. You don't
Right.
understand creative vision at all. And it just, at least for me, it wasn't true. And I think the trajectory that I'm currently at proves that they were just simply wrong and I was simply right.
What brought you back?
Yeah, I mean, the very simple part of the story is I kept having, of course, the feeling of like, I want to sing again. I wasn't touching the piano. I was not touching the guitar. I was not doing any of that. And then I kind of got a bug to want to do it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend at the time, he said, I said, I kind of want to do music again. Like, what do you think? He didn't date me when I was a singer at the time. And he said, well, what about me? What am I going to do? And you go, work. Oh, I mean, if you know me by now, I haven't been talking to you too long, but you probably know that's not good for me. So I I said, okay. Uh, and I broke up with him very soon after. And I got the band back together. And I said, if we're going to do this, like, we're going to go all out, like
Yeah.
balls to the wall. I'm going all in, and I'm not working with anyone who doesn't get it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your career.
Totally.
So it
Totally.
should be
Totally.
your vision.
Abs- Absolutely. I think people so much in the industry, they think that because they're a business person,
Yeah.
that they should get all the choices and all the answers. And I think that's just so raw. Like, where would you be without the artists that you're pushing?
Well,
You would
that's
be
it.
nowhere.
And the artist, that's your creative
Mm-hmm.
resource. Why wouldn't you
Mm-hmm.
let them create?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And allowing like a producer or someone who um, understands tone
Yeah.
to really help dictate the scenario instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
What's the
drove me nuts.
band's name?
So we are Velvet Rouge.
Yeah, I like
So
that
we're
name. That's
thank
a cool
you.
band name.
Thank you so much. I also really, really love it. I think it really fits the music that we're putting out. And it's just so like sexy and fun. And I feel like when you're at our shows, it completely resonates with the performance and everything that we do. Everything.
So you've got a new song, new album coming out this summer?
Yes, we have a project that we'll be releasing. I can't share too much yet. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed. Um, now that we are working with people, there are some rules I have to follow, and so we are releasing a project. It's the best music I've ever written. Brian McTeer and Amy Morrissey produced it. They did The War on Drugs and Dr. Dog and Sharon Van Etten. So um, their repertoire is absolutely gorgeous and brilliant. Um, and it's really fucking good. Like it's so powerful. And it talks a lot about what we're talking about with the industry.
Did so working with the band again and kind of
Uh-huh.
working on the new music, your direction, did it kind of spark that love of music again? Are you fully
Oh,
back?
yes. Yes. That's why I'm moving to LA.
I think
Because I was actually,
that's the commitment that shows how committed you are.
yeah, go it being
A
in
big
your
move.
being in your car with your mother for 5 days is a commitment to my music career, and let me tell you. But
I
but
really,
no,
you know, now that
100%.
I've thought about it a little bit, I kind of love that your mom has turned this road trip just into a vacation. It,
Oh,
it's a
we're
trip.
going to visit one of her friends along the way. So don't even I
I think I've switched my view. I'm on mom's side now.
You're on mom's side. Great. Great. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let her know. And she's gonna love that. She's gonna literally say, I told you so. I
Well,
told
you
you
know,
so.
my wife and I have always talked about traveling the country, and you're actually doing that.
You should. You should. And I will say my mom used to live in Arizona and I have done the drive. Now maybe the reason I didn't share this with you, I've done the drive about 5 times. Um,
Oh,
and so you now maybe understand why I just want to get there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, that's different. If you've
I should
already
have
done it
explained. I
several
should,
times, yeah.
and so has she. So I already know what I'm gonna see. I already know it.
She
Flat.
was wanting to spend time with you, though.
She is. No, she is. And it's actually going to be really lovely. We're stopping in places that we don't normally stop. So
Oh,
um,
cool.
it's going to be nice. We're going to Flagstaff, Arizona. We're going to, and I think this, somewhere in Texas that I'm forgetting. It has these really cool, if you do drive across the country
Yeah.
ever, there's these cars. It's an art installation it's in a part of Texas, top left. The cars they kind of look like old Cadillacs, are in the ground. There's like 10 of them, and it's a stop along the way that you can look at. And you can actually bring spray paint. It's supposed to be a joint art installation,
Yeah.
and they encourage you to spray paint all of the cars. It's really, really cool. So
That's
we're gonna
neat.
stay there. Yeah, very cool. That's how you know you're in the middle of the country. And then when you hit that, St. Louis, and there's one other stop, more Pittsburgh, but that's kind of my brother lives
Oh,
in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's
So
in my area.
yeah, we're gonna be passing by you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it'd be what? Pittsburgh's about 2.5 hours away from where I'm at.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're not near, this is such like a non-music sidebar, but you're not near, there's a new podcast out called Three about two girls that killed their friend. Are you in that like area in that town?
Well, I think I
Look
is
it
that a
up.
West Virginia story?
Yes.
I've
And
heard
but
this story.
they traveled to right outside of Pittsburgh to kill her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe that's up closer to Fairmont, which is close
Okay.
to Fairmont's next to Morgantown, which is on the border
Yes.
with Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're not right there. Okay.
I'm not right there. I'm a couple hours away from that.
Okay. Well,
I
let's
do know
also
that
listen to the
story. That's
podcast.
terrible. That's a terrible
Terrible,
story.
terrible story. Again, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it per se, but you should listen to the podcast. The girl's really great, and I love true crime, so I was
Yeah,
just very
everybody
intrigued
loves
when you
true
said
crime. That's the thing.
it's the thing right now. It's the cool girl thing.
So will Velvet Rouge, will they be will you be touring?
Yes, we are touring again mid-May. I'm going to be announcing my touring schedule. We are going to Canada. We are going to be up in like the Northeast, for me in California, middle of the country. I mean, literally anywhere that, honestly, anywhere that any state that will let me play in their state, I'm pretty much going to play in. Pretty for the most part. Yeah, I'm so excited to play in places that I've never played. Portland, Maine being like one of them as an example. Montreal, Canada. Um, it's just exciting to get to go somewhere new and share a message that you haven't gotten to share there before. And I love meeting the fans and the people. It's my favorite thing. I'm an actress too, and in my acting class, one of the girls in my acting class was like, "Your fans are literally insane. Like they're nuts." She came to a show for the first time. She was like, "They're literally insane and so crazy." And I was like, "They are. They
Yeah, I was
really
gonna say
are."
you probably love that though, as a
Oh, I love it. I love it.
entertainer.
I love it. I love the craziness, and they're kind crazy, but they're like, I really love people to be their true self
Yeah.
on all identities of who you are. And so that's the kind of person that I have. And if you're your true self, a lot of times you're a little cry sometimes,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I was going to ask you if you had thought about acting. So that doesn't surprise me that you're involved in that.
Yeah. I just got back into it in January. So there's going to be a time that I'm going to be on the screen. So
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what I
I
was
don't
going to
know
ask.
yet, but
Are you looking more for TV, movie, or theater?
interesting you asked that. Definitely TV movie, and I only say that because I know the schedule of theater,
It's pretty
and
rough.
it's rough, it's grueling, and I think it would just take away too much of my time
Yeah.
that I want to dedicate to music. That's not to say never. I loved doing musical theater. It was my favorite thing. It's just like it's grueling. It's insanely grueling, and I'm just not ready to get back to that.
What kind of role or genre are you looking for? Is there one that you're like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that one?
I really, really love anything that like Jessica Chastain has done. So
She has
anything
had a good career.
she's had the best career. And my point being, I love like dramas and I love thrillers and I love all of that. I think what's so like sucky about America, or maybe just the film, or maybe anything, the world in general, is when you do one role, it's really hard to get out of that style.
He really is.
So I use like what's the guy's name in Breaking Bad that was also in Malcolm in the Middle? Bryan
Oh,
Cranston.
yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah.
He was in Malcolm in the Middle, and they thought he wasn't going to be good enough to be a drama actor. And
Yeah.
look at him now.
Well,
So
and
it's
he's like
interesting.
when he started, he was on Seinfeld. That was his role.
Yes.
And then he went to Malcolm. Yeah, he got kind of stuck with the comedy stuff. I've actually heard him talk about that.
Yeah. And so it's very interesting. I say that because I feel like I would probably be really fun at doing like the dumb blonde type of girl. I would love to do that, but I'm like, I just don't want people to
You don't
pigeonhole
want
me
to get
into a dumb
stuck doing
blonde.
that.
Yeah, totally.
Well, you
Totally.
have
So
to
it's,
establish yourself with a drama, and then you can go from there to do
I,
anything.
Michael, I think that's the best idea you've had today. I think that's such a good idea. Everyone should start in a drama,
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna write that down because I don't have very many.
there you go. That idea down. He said it first. Start in a drama, and then you do well, and you can go anywhere. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with that 100%.
I think it's easier to do that than try to go from comedy or even a horror movie into drama.
Absolutely. I agree. I love it. I love it.
See, I was expecting you to say horror.
Now, it's not to say I don't want to do horror, but honestly, I feel like I hear so many things about people on sets getting actually like possessed and things.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you don't
like
want that.
no, they see things on sets that they're not supposed to. And I hear about like I think parent The Exorcist had some really weird
Oh
things.
yeah, The Exorcist definitely had some weird stuff.
That's what I mean. And it's like, oh, I don't know
Well,
if I want to carry that.
not that I could be an actor, I'd be terrible, but I would not do horror because I'm the biggest chicken. I'd be like,
That's
no
what
thanks.
I mean.
Yeah, no
Oh
thanks.
my God. No, I think of like The Conjuring, terrifying, number one. And I don't want to see scary ladies in scary makeup. I'm too afraid. I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
I'm in agreement with that. Okay, no horror.
No horror. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing anything like Jason. I'm not doing any of that. No.
All right, I think we've mapped it out.
We have drama, steer to comedy, back to drama, no horror. That's what we've learned.
We've nailed it.
I love it.
Well, Gina, thank you for taking a little bit of time. I knew this was going to be a good interview. I'm such a fan. I just started listening like a week ago, and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
I'm so grateful. Make sure you know what. Please send me your address. I want to send you some goodies too.
Ooh, that's very nice of you.
Yes, I
You
would
know,
really love to.
some people would be like, no, that's okay. But I'm not like that. I'm like, yes, send me goodies.
Of of course. What's life without some swag?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Everybody
I
loves
love
a
it.
little bit of swag.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I did really enjoy our conversation a lot.
Oh yeah, you have to come back. Maybe when the album comes out, you
I
come back
would
and tell us
I
about it.
would I would die for that, Michael.
Have you picked out a name yet?
For the album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's all done. That you'll
Okay.
find out.
Okay. So
It's
I'm
all done.
assuming once the album's ready or the song, sometimes you release singles before the album.
Yep.
You'll release that on social media. So where can we find you on social media?
Yeah. Every social media platform is Velvet Rouge Band.
Okay.
Velvet Rouge Band.
Yeah, it comes right up.
Oh, well, that is good. I'm happy about that. And our website's velvetrougeband.com. It's very simple. Reason being, there is a Velvet Rouge lipstick. And I love that, but it restricts. Now we have to have band in it now. So,
I
Velvet Rouge
like it
Band is
better with
all our,
band though.
yeah, yeah, no problem there. So that's all our platforms. We're on every platform. Our music's pretty much on every single platform you can imagine. Yeah.
At what point do you just go with the initials? Like VRB?
VR.
VRB?
Oh, well, it's not. We are just Velvet Rouge. The band is just for social media.
Okay.
However, well, we use VR in a lot of our conversations just because it's so much easier. It's like I don't
Yeah.
want to say all the syllables, Velvet Rouge.
It makes it feel like you're like part of a club if you say the initials.
You know what's interesting you say that is I really like a lot of, Taylor Swift, she does like the heart. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to come up with some kind of hand symbol for it. So
Ooh.
if you think of anything, let me know. I've been trying to I'm still working on it.
Yeah, that's a tough one to come up with something different.
Uh-huh. So working on it. Let me know what you think.
Well, yeah, let's definitely plan to do this again. And this has been
Please.
great, Gina. It's good music. I'm excited for the album to come out because I know,
Thank you.
The stuff I'm listening to is your previous stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you've evolved from that time. So I'm excited to hear stuff.
Just you wait.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be good. Okay, hold on one second.
Yep.
How much fun was Gina? So Gina Zo. Please keep an eye out for her. I'm sure most of you have seen her on The Voice. She was amazing, and she's only improved since then. So please do yourself and do me and Gina a favor. Let's support Gina. Keep an eye out for the new album. The new single should be coming out shortly this summer. Worth your time. She's amazing, and I'm sure live she puts on a show. I'm excited. I'm out in LA quite a bit, so I'm hoping we'll get a chance to catch Gina live. I'll keep you updated. Whoa, that was almost that was almost a disaster. About knocked my laptop right off. I got so excited talking about Gina, almost threw my laptop across the room. The Too Opinionated podcast would have been done forever without the whole thing hinges on this laptop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this week. I so grateful that you keep coming back to us. We appreciate that so much. Love to have your support going forward. There's a couple easy ways you can do that. They're both free. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please just subscribe. That helps us so much. Doesn't cost you a dime. Guaranteed that you'll find hundreds of people that you love, that you'll be interested in checking out. So please do that for us. Our website is meistercon.com. You can find all of our interviews, audio and video. Today we put out episode 770, so we're pretty high volume, usually about 4 episodes a week. The website will let you know if we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, covering a convention, anything we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Too Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. You know, not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. You know, those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free, and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to IMDb, imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, you know, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.